Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so happy that you guys are here joining us today. I'm Ozzy Moore with the Education Station. Today, we're discussing how connecting with others and finding support is so important and essential, actually, in the world when we live with labels. And especially for moms raising children with special needs, it's so important. And I tend to come on here to talk about special needs and families with autistic children because just some background of me. I have a brother who was diagnosed with at 2 years old, and that was more than 25 years ago. He was diagnosed with autism. He's highly functional, but I saw the struggle that my mom went through trying to find the support. She didn't even speak the language. She just spoke Spanish. So it was a struggle for her finding the support. And again, this was more than 25 years ago when resources very limited and still to this day. And that's why I wanted to have this conversation with an organization that is not here in Las Vegas. They're based elsewhere. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce these two wonderful ladies from the organization called Label and Love. Julie and Regina, thank you so much for joining me on this conversation. You guys have so much to share and a journey. I'll let you guys introduce yourselves and tell me a little bit about you guys.
Absolutely. I'm Julie Hornok, and I'm one of the co-founders of Labeled and Loved. And we are so excited to be coming to the Vegas area and really meeting these moms and finding out how we can better support them. But my journey began because I'm a mother of a child with a disability. And like 20 million other families in the country, we had no idea. We didn't know that 20 million families were living in the country with a disability. And for me, my daughter turned 2 years old and we noticed some things were changing and some things were very different. And she became distant, where she started flapping her hands and lining things up and just throwing horrible temper tantrums. And then the connection started to disappear. I would call her name. She wouldn't answer. Her eyes would glaze over. And it really we sought help and we were able to find help and get a diagnosis of autism for her. But I had gone into parenting with just expectations. I knew, okay, kids usually walk at this age, they talk at this age, then we're going to send them to middle school, then to college and all those things. But I thought in that moment, I don't know if any of that's possible anymore. And everything I thought I was going to be doing, like going to play dates at the parks and just meeting with friends and hanging out, wasn't possible anymore. And we transformed into 30 to 40 hours a week of therapy for my daughter. And in those times, it felt, even with a good support system, which I had, it felt very, very isolating. And I felt very alone because I felt like I didn't belong in the normal world of parenting and that the world wasn't set up for parents like me. And that was really, really tough to realize that.
No, I could understand, not as a parent, but as a sibling. And I think I could relate to Regina because you kind of have a similar background, like I kind of discussed right now, correct?
Yeah, so I have a sibling perspective just like you. So it's actually
Yes.
awesome to talk to someone that shares that perspective. I don't often get to talk to somebody that has that perspective because growing up, and this is 30 years ago, I was the oldest of 5 kids. My brother is the youngest. He was diagnosed also very young. But as a sibling, I just didn't know it was happening in our family and didn't really know that I just remember that moment where I felt like, okay, something's not okay. And that moment happened when my brother was frustrated. He was nonverbal. He got frustrated and he banged his head on the floor. And seeing somebody respond that way shocked me in that moment, just being that 12-year-old looking at this. And I remember immediately looking to my mom for guidance or like, what's happening, right? And I just remember my mom having this facial expression of, I don't know what to do. And I think in that moment, I just felt like, okay, something is different in my family and my family doesn't feel okay. And I didn't know how to navigate that as a sibling for sure. But now looking back at it as an adult, I see that my mom did not have the supports she needed 30 years ago. And I had never even met another family like mine growing up, which is amazing to think about. You have nobody to reference what your family is going through or the differences or the isolation that you're feeling or the challenges. There's no one to talk with about that. And so that was definitely my perspective growing up. It actually propelled me to who I am today. I'm a behavior analyst. I get to work with kids with disabilities, but I co-founded Labeled and Loved because it goes beyond just the individuals of the kids I work with professionally. I now get to really help the families behind those kids because we want to have strong families. And that's why we really focused on the mom. If we can give her that community connection and care, are we able to then strengthen those families? Because that's ultimately our goal.
Right. And we all have something in common, right? We all went through that misunderstanding, not understanding, wanting to feel normal, wanting to feel supported. So I completely understand from both perspectives, like Julie seeing my mom in her, right? Just feeling alone and not knowing where to turn. And then we have Regina who feels, I just want to, in a way, have some sort of normalcy and feel that everything's going to be okay, right? So that leads me to Labeled and Love. Regina, you mentioned that. What is the mission? This is such a fantastic organization. You guys offer so many resources and programs for mothers.
Well, connection is really what we are striving for, is that everybody is not walking this journey alone. We believe that everybody should have someone to walk alongside them. And what's really transformed, I guess, the Labeled and Loved mission, how it lives and breathes, which is exciting to see, is we carry hope to these communities, to these moms, connect them regardless of their child's age or diagnosis. Like, that is irrelevant. This is for the caregivers. And then through that, we carry that hope to them. They receive that hope, and then they become hope carriers. So Labeled and Love creates this movement of transformation, and we just see women receiving that hope and strength for their families, carrying it on to those other moms. And that's how we're creating those monthly groups that now meet up in person or virtually, and then builds into some of our community outreach events like the Moms Mingle that we want to talk about coming to Las Vegas February 3rd. And so that's what we're doing, is we're moving through the nation with really this movement of hope.
On your guys' mission and your mission, you guys talk a lot about creating healthy moms. What does that mean?
Yeah. We really tend to look at the expectations and we start there. So the expectation going into parenting doesn't match up anymore when you have a child has a lifelong disability. And so we take that expectation and we kind of break that down and we remind them, okay, what did you think it looked like? And then what could it look like? So we drop and release our expectations together as a group. And we can do that because we all are in a space of non-judgment. And then we begin to look at the little things in our life that we can still find joy in. And when we can find joy in those, we can change our expectations and open ourselves up to really having just a very different but unique type of motherhood. And when those are off burdened and we're looking at the positive and we're finding the ways that we can still engage with the world as mothers, then I think that emotional burden is gone, which then leaves space for better caring for our family, for better caring for our partners, for better caring all around. We're able to do that a whole lot better. And then we have this community of friends that we've built while we're doing this together. We're doing the hard work together. And we've brought in, Labeled and Love brings in counselors, and we bring in psychologists to help us with our curriculums to go through these things so that they can make these connections then, and then they're able to better serve their families and able to better serve the community and become a hope carrier, like Gina said.
You guys reference the word hope a lot on the website and when you speak. I saw the word caretaker a lot on the website and when you guys deliver certain messages. How does that translate to a mom, the mom that you guys assist, and also the word labeling? You guys are very intentional the way you guys word things. So I want to be able to explain that to people that probably have no idea what we're discussing, and especially living in the world of being a sibling with a special needs sibling or being a mother with a special needs child.
I think when your child receives a label, you as a parent receives a label too. And the world loves to label. They love to just put somebody in a box. And each and every one of us is so very different. We're different in what label we've been given, but we're also different in what kind of supports we have and what kind of abilities we have to help our children. And so we come together as a community and we love, and we have a saying that there is no label that can keep you from being loved in our community. And so we have all kinds of moms with all kinds of different needs, and none of that matters. It all goes to the side, and we take the labels and we just own them and we walk through it together, and then we love.
You guys have a very beautiful motto. Can you guys tell me what that is?
The world will label,
we will love.
I love it. I want to hear that stuck with me. And it was just, wow, now that I see it from that perspective, it's true, and love will always win. I believe that. But that's just me. What is the importance of connecting with other mothers who understand the life that you're living?
Well, I think to start, what I've seen and just the moms coming together is that this isn't just to connect to have more friends. It's honestly like a lifeline. We see the need for this level of connection between the moms. And every mom that comes to one of our events or comes to one of our circles, the first thing they have to be is brave, because they're usually stepping into an unfamiliar space. And I would say about 70 people will show up, not with a friend, not bringing or knowing anyone to our events. And we've had moms who have said they've never been out for a night by themselves in like 7 years, or they'll give us these stories of coming in and telling us what this night has meant to them and why it's so needed. We've even had a mom who had not been away from her child. The father stayed in the car while she came into one of our mom's mingles so she could go back and caretake while she was there. And when the mom walks in, each one of those moms, we are ready to receive them. We give them a hug. We have a special name tag system that helps you get connected. And the first thing we want to tell you is you are welcome here regardless of your child's diagnosis. We actually represent about 144 different diagnoses across the community that we serve. And then we are connecting them immediately with, it's not their child's diagnosis that they're walking and introducing themselves with. We are starting with who you are as a person, who you are as a mom, and what your dreams are. And now you have a community that can walk this with you. And so we're really asking them to come as themselves, not representing their child, which I think is oftentimes what a special needs family is used to doing, representing the diagnosis that was within their family. And so it's freeing to come into this space.
I'm glad that you bring that up, because that was something that I dealt with as a kid. I didn't know how to talk about my family without needing to, or I felt the need that I needed to explain what was going on with my brother, because I felt like I was looked at differently because of my brother. But I didn't understand that my brother is my brother. He's his own unique person. He's still any other person trying to get through the struggles and strengths and success in life. He just needed that additional support. And it wasn't until I got to college, I don't know if you dealt with this, Regina, where I started understanding just how to look at it from a different perspective and how important it is to have that peer support and family understanding. So I'm glad that you brought that up. I want to go back to events. How did you guys end up hosting or about to host an event in Las Vegas?
Yeah, so we had heard it's a small community. We end up talking to a lot of people, and I kept hearing Vegas over and over again. Just the fact that millions of people from all over the world come to Vegas, and they come and they see the strip, and then they have fun and they leave and they feel forgotten. The people of Vegas feel forgotten, and the special needs mom feels this extra isolation. So there's no support. There's minimal services. And we love going into new communities and bringing hope in new spaces. And like we said, we're hoping they'll carry on that hope and continue to carry it on. So we just started looking into Vegas and how we could help the women here. And so we did an event last year that was a one-night event. And now on February 3rd at Canyon Gate Country Club, we had, again, the second event coming up February 3rd. We still have spots open for that. But then we went one further, and we're excited to partner with the Las Vegas Lake Hilton Hotel to do our big retreat. It's a 3-day weekend retreat, and we do it in different places all over the United States. And we have moms coming from 39 different states that come to this. And so we are bringing it here, and we're hoping to put that spotlight on and to help that build some community that meets monthly for you guys, so that the moms have true support, and it's not just in name. We want them to truly build their own community and be able to support their kids and their families better.
You truly want them to feel loved.
Yes,
absolutely.
That's exactly it.
Right?
Yeah.
So I want to go back to the lack of services that you mentioned, Julie. So here in Nevada, I've done here for the station, I've done several reports. There's a lack of speech therapists, behavioral health in Nevada, ABA therapy. There's reports of people, and I've done reports, people traveling out of state just to get the resources that they need. And that also costs money. It's a burnout situation as well for the family. It's everything just to get the resources they need for their child. And not to mention transportation. No, that's another big thing with these families deal with, is how to get their children to their therapies that they need to go, whether it be after school, before school, during the summer, because this is constant work. This isn't just something that I'm just going to turn it, like, quit for a day or take a break. It's constant work. Why is it so important to build that community, especially with other moms from different states? Because you guys host all moms from everywhere.
Yeah.
The energy is incredible because we get moms who don't even have connections with their child's specific disability. They're so rare that being able to connect with someone in another state is their only opportunity. So I think it opens up the world beyond your state or beyond your city to knowing that there's people that are there to support you.
Yeah. And where are you? I forgot to ask you guys, where are you guys based out of?
In Dallas.
Dallas. How are the resources there for families with children with autism or on the spectrum, special needs?
I think in Dallas specifically, we have a lot of options for resources, but all of them are out of pocket pay. So I think it's one of those things where it's fabulous that we have it for those that can give it. And that's what I love about what we do, is we know in every state the resources are going to be better sometimes, they're going to be worse sometimes, laws are going to change, the community as a whole is going to change. And what our goal is to provide support where they are building true friendships so they can have this wave of the special needs life. But the steady is this community that we give them to help them, whatever is thrown at them, that helps them kind of just go through and walk it together. And that's the beauty of feeling like, oh my goodness, I'm not the only mom. And even if you're the only one in your little town or your little suburb or your area, I'm not the only one. There are moms across the nation dealing with this. So in that, knowing the bigness of it, knowing about the 20 million, you won't feel alone. And I think that's the scariest thing that keeps you from moving forward, is when you feel like you're doing it by yourself.
I think as a provider, I do provide actually ABA therapy here in Texas and in Oklahoma as well. And it's really, from a provider standpoint, to see that even when services are available through insurance or different avenues, is seeing that we're not meeting the need of the family behind that kiddo. So I oftentimes see where I want our providers to be able to say, I can't sit down and have this conversation like with what you're needing. You're needing like support and you're needing help for yourself. And I'm focused on your kiddo and I'm working with them. It's out of my scope to be a counselor, right? A lot of my moms that I work with don't have time to go to another counseling session necessarily. So I can give them Labeled and Loved as a resource and say, here's a community that you can lean into, that these moms can surround you. And then we are able to give resources to those moms through our curriculum and through our programs. And I've just seen it really meet the need of the mom. And we try to, because these are designed by special needs moms for special needs moms, they're created in a way that if you want to be a leader for one of these groups, we have a whole curriculum and a path to mentor you into that. It's not like you're having to put up all of this innovative to meet your passion or what you can do. And so when you become that hope carrier, which is the purpose of our programs, is we're also trying to provide the information you need in a way that fits your lifestyle. And because we have so many special needs moms pouring into that and curating that, I feel like we've done a really good job with that, which is great for a provider. I now have a resource that I can say, this is for you, mom, as well.
And if you guys are just joining us right now, this is Julie and Regina. These are professional women. They are the co-founders of Labeled and Loved. This is an organization based out of Dallas, since you guys are both in Dallas. And you guys also, let's say I'm a mom here in Las Vegas watching, and I would love to join the group. Is there a virtual opportunity in order for me to become a leader, to feel accepted into the group? Because that's the biggest thing with mothers with children with special needs, is they want to feel that they belong and that they're accepted. And what I love about your guys' philosophy, it's judgment free, because I feel a lot of moms with special needs children feel judged.
Yeah.
We hear that.
Yeah, We do have a virtual option, our virtual sisterhood circles that meet monthly, and there is options in there for them to open their own virtual, and we train them up as leaders too. And like Regina said, it's just we work within their lifestyle. We understand that the life with a child with special needs may not get easier, but you can do and still grow outside within that lifestyle.
Right.
And we
Thank you.
know moms struggle with childcare too. So
Oh,
that's
yes.
one thing. Yeah.
Safety.
Mhm.
Everything. Regina, I want to ask you one question. I know you're a professional and you deal with a lot of the AB therapy. What can you recommend to moms who feel like they're hitting a wall to find the proper therapy, RBTs, everything? Yeah, what can you offer them? What advice would you offer them?
I think voicing your needs and making sure that those and every state is very different,
Exactly.
but legislators, schools, letting that voice be known of what is needed and what is lacking. And I think also understanding what's happening maybe in surrounding states can help you, um, again, connecting with other moms outside to understand those different dynamics can help advocate for those services that are so needed in specific areas. So I'm so disappointed that we're not able to meet every child's need everywhere at the same space across the different states. But I'm hopeful that when we do connect and we do share stories, that those are inspiring to states to really, at the end of the day, bring the best that we can as a society to those who need it the most. And I love that Labeled and Loved plays a small part in creating that community and connection.
It plays a huge part too because you guys also appeared in the Kelly Clarkson show. So
Okay.
that was fantastic. And that was
It
to
was a
talk
lot
about
of
the
fun.
organization. So
Yeah. Yeah, we were very honored to have them showcase the work that we do, and we love it. I mean, I hope that you can tell it's passion work for us. We do it because we love
yeah.
it. We love the moms, and we want to make their lives better.
So
We want to support their families.
let's say I watch this. I'm watching this right now and it's after February and I didn't have a chance to attend your guys' group sessions programs. How can I get involved? I know you guys have something called letters. I saw something on the website that you get like text messages or something. Is that a thing that anyone can sign up? I assume it's to inspire and motivate moms if they're feeling down or they need a little pick me up, or you can explain it.
Yeah, I mean, you go to the website, labeledandloved.org, and we have sticky notes for the heart. And those are just quick messages to encourage the mom wherever she is. So it just pops up right on their phone. And sometimes we know that our moms don't receive any encouragement in a day. And so they're going to get that and they'll at least receive it from us.
I love that so much. Well, Julie, Regina, thank you so much for your time. It's been such an honor. And again, today we're discuss why and how connecting with other mothers from across the state, living in a world of labels, like you both mentioned, and especially for moms raising children with special needs, why it's so important to stick together and the need for peer family support, no judgment, space, all of that. So, Julie, Regina, thank you so much for the work that you do and for being here talking with me. A fantastic conversation at and with the Education Station. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you soon. Bye now.